This message has been transmitted by the request of the governor. There has been an earthquake which you all must have felt. This earthquake, although only lasting 20 seconds, was higher than a magnitude 10. In fact, it was a magnitude 11.2. There has been widespread damage, and we urge you all to take shelter somewhere where you cannot be injured, as aftershocks are expected. There is a possibility that they will also be higher than a magnitude 10. Please make sure that all of your valuables are being kept in a safe location where they cannot be damaged. Make sure that in an emergency scenario, you have some food and water on hand in case the building you are in collapses and you cannot reach food or water sources. If you are not in a building, make sure to look below you on the ground to make sure that there are no cracks forming in the ground underneath you so that you don't get sucked into the ground. If you are in a building, make sure you pay attention to the ceiling. That way, you will be able to tell when it may collapse if it does. Once again, please make sure that you keep everything important to you safe. Please stay tuned for more information. This message has been transmitted at the request of the federal government. The aftershocks have all ended, and there has been little to no structural damage, but the internals of buildings have seemed to be destroyed, such as objects like vases, from the intense shaking. But please make sure that everything is still stored in a safe place, as we do not know if something like this will happen in the future, such as another aftershock or another earthquake with just as much power as the one we all just experienced. Please stay tuned for more information on the official seismograph reports. This message has been transmitted at the request of the federal government. The earthquake and aftershocks have appeared to have awoken something in certain things. There have been thousands of reports that inanimate objects are moving slightly with no feeling of the ground shaking. For example, in New York City, there were numerous reports that garbage cans were inching forwards. Granted, the movements were slow, but they were still moving, with no signs of anything moving it. There have been reports of garbage cans, tables, chairs, televisions, phones, just about anything you can think of that is not alive. Even rocks. They are all moving slightly. We do not know what this means, but please attempt to take everything in your house and secure it. However, if your house starts to move, there is nothing you can do. This message has been transmitted at the request of the federal government. Everything is now capable of moving. The satellites in space are moving away from the Earth, so communication using phones will no longer be possible within the next hour. Transportation by car, plane, and boat will also not be possible, as there have been billions of reports that vehicles are taking their own path to the unknown. It is also no longer safe to live in your house. There have also been millions of reports that houses have started running away. They have been reported to hop off of their foundation and just run away. Remember that the houses do not have legs. However, they are still capable of running somehow. Please take everything you need, including food and water, and take it with you. But please remember that there is still the chance that the water bottle or food you have could get out of your reach. So everything you hold, please hold it very tightly as to not risk it getting away from you. Please stay tuned for more information on the next objects to become sentient and the effects of this terrible, terrible awakening. This message has been transmitted at the request of the federal government. Everything is now capable of moving freely. Yes, we mean everything. Nothing is safe. We do not know what we can do, as this appears to be the end, or at least the strangest apocalypse we have ever seen. We have gotten reports of the ground moving, but not in the sense you think. We mean the ground is detaching from the ground and running away, leaving a black hole in its wake, since there is actually nothing under the ground. You might think that the Earth Slayers would be there, but no. The Earth Slayers have left already. This is leaving us vulnerable to the radiation from the sun, along with solar winds. Under any other circumstances, we would advise you to stay in your fallout shelters, but we believe this is not a good idea, as for all we know, your shelters could run away too. We do not know where they would run, since they are underground, and there is nothing there, but we fear the worst. They are starting to take control. By they, we mean the objects. All objects are turning against the humans. We believe that the strong shaking awoke them in a way where they are extremely angry. We do not know why, since humans did not assist in the earthquake, unless we did in some way that we do not know of. For example, rocks are literally throwing themselves at people. They will pick themselves up and throw themselves at random people in the street. Entire landfills are getting up and placing themselves down in the middle of urban areas. More patches of ground are leaving the earth, leaving more tiny black holes to radiate away from Hawking radiation and cause the explosions. The problem is that even the explosions can stop themselves temporarily and relocate so that they can explode somewhere more appropriate. Please stay tuned for more information, as we do not know what else will happen that may be important. This message has been transmitted at the request of them. They have somehow communicated in a way that is understandable to humans. They have requested that we no longer emit any harmful chemicals in the world. One single molecule of pollution, and they will come back. See what happens when we pollute the earth. They come back. They always come back. Remember that this means you can only travel by foot. You can only live in solar-powered houses. You cannot use nuclear power plants. Fossil fuels are no longer usable. Please, for the love of, do not excrete any pollution whatsoever. This also includes fecal matter and urine. Do not pollute the earth in any way, because they will find out and destroy us all. Please stay tuned for more information on any other possible messages that they may tell us to share. This message has been transmitted at the request of them. The following message will be their exact words. This roughly translates to don't. We assume that don't is referring to don't pollute. However, we cannot be sure. Oh, and somebody polluted the earth. So they also said WDQTUVAFSBDV and JDJKADFI and This roughly translates to doom. We also assume that this is referring to the doom that we will undergo in approximately. We do not know what they will do, but all we know is that it is going to be something that will be stronger than the earthquakes that awoke them originally. Please stay tuned for more information. This message has been transmitted at the request of the federal government. There have been numerous reports of deadly weapons being manipulated by them to harm humans. For example, the grenade from a grenade launcher can be thrown at a random person. The grenade can also explode at will. Let's also use an Alaska 47 as an example. The bullets can be thrown at random people at untold speeds. Millions have died. Never mind that, billions have died. Almost half of the entire population of the world have died. We have also been told that natural disasters are being redirected to certain locations, all the while increasing in strength. There is no saving the human race. There have also been reports of cells rearranging themselves to become cellular dust. The cellular dustification process involves your cells rearranging themselves into dust particles. It is not preventable. You will be conscious during this event. After this, when you are cellular dust, you could turn into a dust devil made of cells. You can control where you go if you can overpower them. If you cannot, you will engulf other dust devils, and you will be combined with other people's cells. And if you don't undergo the cellular dustification process, you will be guaranteed to go through cellular implosion. Your cells will become so confused that they will all implode. You will then turn into the cellular black hole. And through Hawking radiation, you will explode in the watery cellular explosion, where they will control you for eternity. During this transmission, the rest of the population has died, all except for. After this message, the emergency alert system will no longer be in service.